as a research project before I come up with the next generation. And the next generation, I say, is the power of 10. So I hope to, yeah, yes. No, I see this in front of the screen, sorry.
We can move that one.
Yes, maybe.
You want to go over there? Oh, there we go.
Dan moet ik
Because we are talking about, in this project, about characteristic sustainable heritage. And it's a project we are doing for the province of Gelderland. It's a project that is split up in 2 phases. The first is ended last year. The second phase started this year and will continue until summer 2021. A lot of our departments and chairs are involved in this project. So it's not only the chair of Heritage and Design of the section Heritage and Architecture, but we also have climate design, we have management, we have landscape involved in this project as well. It's about a lot of different topics. And this is the Netherlands, this is Gelderland, it's the largest province. And so we're doing different projects, sites in this place in the Netherlands. There is, for the provinces, a lot of money available to maintain and to conserve cultural heritage, and especially the listed monuments. And this province has available up till 13 million, even last year 25 million, to invest in some special projects. They have a policy for that, and they ask us to think about the next steps in defining a new framework for these policies. But they have to take into account to preserve monuments and to include sustainability in it as well. So not only conservation, but also sustainability needs to be addressed in the framework to address these subsidies to conserve monuments. 4 themes are leading. It's about energy, it's just about insulation and other sources for energy. It's about financial perspective, so it's not only that you invest a lot of money, but somehow it also needs to be feasible. And we talk about functional usability, so if a building is not used, it's also not quite sustainable. And we want to safeguard knowledge. We want to include education, we want to include also students in projects, and a lot of partners are joined up in a team, and the CADA project is kind of connector between the research, knowledge, living labs, and the province. I included, after the email of Jean-Paul, the slide about our sustainable development goals, where this whole conference is about. I think the education and of course the clean energy, climate action, the sustainable cities and partnerships for the goals are included in this project. And especially the partnerships in the province of Gelderland, a lot of different associations are connected to join in this kind of project. Also the Monumentenwacht, and that will be addressed also in the lecture of one of our next speakers. We have the framework we want to address, the living labs we introduced. We have smaller projects to come up with some results during this big project, and we have studios in our master courses also part of this research. The living labs are on different skill levels. We'll skip quickly through it. It's on urban level. We are dealing with cities and towns like Zutphen, Winterswijk, Aalborg, very small historical towns, even some bigger ones. We have smaller projects like a vision on churches. A lot of churches will be vacant in the future. All local governments need to make a document, a vision, how to deal with it. We are involved in the document making for 3 of those local governments. Energy transition will be addressed next year. Here is also a master studio. 2 studios are in this project. The estates, not only the buildings on huge plots and areas, but also the green and blue. We are making 2 design atlases about these estates in 2 regions. The churches. We are analyzing energy scans. That is a tool to investigate the monumental values and the opportunities how to receive sustainable measures to reduce the energy consumption. But it's done in different ways, and we want to make a kind of guideline how to deal with that. Feasibility studies is the next project. This is on a building scale. This is a special project, building that has been closed for 75 years. It's reopened, and especially on the building scale level, we are really concerned about if insulation, especially afterwards from the inside, if it's the best action to do in relation to sustainability. Maybe we save energy, but maybe the building will collapse after a few years. It's about building physics, about how we have to treat the materials related to sustainability. We will monitor that in different ways. This is how projects, living labs, and the research and the studios are connected. But what was about the next generation? I address this as the students. We involve students in this project. They are on site. They are discussing with the governments, the owners. And for instance, in Zutphen, this is one of the buildings, a school building that was an assignment for the students. It's here, all those buildings were included in the project. This elder man said, don't look at that building, that will be demolished, you don't have to be, why are you looking at it anyhow? And our students made plans for it, artists, new schools, etc. And now it is addressed to be maybe listed or even taking into account that the next steps in the development, this area, this building includes, instead of being demolished on forehand. This is the building I showed before that was vacant for 75 years. There's a lot of damage done in the Second World War, and how to deal with that. If you bought this house and do you want to have this present all day around? No, but the agency wanted to have it still present. So our students also studied this and came up with ideas to make it visible but not so much present. And so you can do it in a Japanese way. You can also make a kind of small frameworks and emphasize this kind of damages as an artifact in the refurbished places. So I think students involved in practice in these projects are part of the next generation, and I think it's very good to have this mix of students, research, and this kind of living labs practice. Thank you.